Hello, good evening. It's time for 5 at 5, and it's going to be one of the most crucial encounters as far as the IPL playoff scenarios are concerned. The table is quite jam-packed right now from if you see the 7, 6, 5, and then come all the way to 4. Yes, 3, 2, 1, a little ahead, but there is a lot of things going on as far as 4, 5, 6, and at least we can go towards 7 to just have a look that what is exactly going on at this point of time. Here's the points table in front of us. So today it's going to be SRH versus Punjab. So if Punjab wins, I don't think there's going to be any change in the points table with NRR and the points. But if Sunrisers Hyderabad wins today's game, then they'll come to number one with 14 points. Punjab Kings on number two, and then RCB will slide down to number three. But the important thing is that Punjab and Royal Challengers Bengaluru have played less game as far as the others are concerned. Sunrisers Hyderabad with 10, RR with 10, GT with 10, CSK with 10, and so as DC with 10 also. So yes, that's a point where everything lies at this point of time. If RR with playing 11 games and left only at 12 points, then it's going to be really difficult for them, to beat RCB from number two position. So we have a lot more to discuss apart from SRH versus PBKS. We will definitely talk about, this biggest non-RCB game, because as I mentioned, that if Sunrisers Hyderabad will win this one, they'll go at the top, and then RCB will chase them. Yes, they have a game more, one game more they will have, but it's going to be difficult for them. Starting with you, Bharat, what's the latest on RCB as far as their game? If I'm not wrong, they have a game in Mumbai.
Yes,
Sorry, in Raipur
Probably.
versus Mumbai. I think
Yeah.
on 10th they have a game. Is there anything around Phil Salt which is going at this point of time? Do you have any updates related to Phil Salt? And what are the chatter as far as the RCB team is concerned? We all know that second half of RCB, it's not anymore a point of concern for them since last two seasons. Before that, it was a big point of concern that the way they starts the season, they won't able to complete it like that. But since 2024, I think the tables have completely turned. What's going on in RCB? And do you also think that this is a biggest non-RCB game as far as this tournament concerned till now?
Yes, yeah, as far as Prince Hall is concerned, it's still not in India.
Okay.
They had gone on a vacation to Maldives. Most likely, they had
Yes.
gone on a vacation to Maldives. There
Yeah.
also, he was not there. So he's basically in England and
Mhm.
is obviously undergoing scans.
Yeah.
The RCB are still hopeful that
Yes.
for one of the later games of the of this IPL that he could make a comeback,
Mhm.
and that could be in one of the games in Raipur, or if they qualify for playoffs, they're
Yes.
hoping that he will make a comeback. So they're
Yeah.
very much still hopeful. This goes back to what I basically said on that in that video on the 25th
Yeah.
itself, that he said to miss at least 3-4 games. So 3 games
Mhm.
they have played. After that, they're set to play one more on May 7th. So after that, there could be a small chance of him making a comeback, or most likely in the playoffs. That is if RCB qualify. Yes, it's a big game. If you look at it, it's very much a big game because Punjab Kings also are losing a few matches. They have lost a couple of matches as well now, and their bowling attack looks a little. What can I say? I'm not saying it's looking modest, but I can see a few holes in their bowling attack because they keep trying
Mhm.
someone like Xavier Bartlett. I don't think he's the bowler that used to be some 3 years ago. Marco Jensen has not been taking that many wickets, and they
Mhm.
tried Lockie Ferguson in one game, and he was smashed around in that. I think one of the games he was smashed around. So PBKS have some problems in their bowling attack, and they would want to win one of these games, especially today's game, because if they win today's match against a team against another competitor, I think it will help them to basically have one foot in playoffs stage. So there's something similar can be said about SRH. They lost a little bit of momentum in the last game. They lost the last game. So SRH also would want to make a comeback. In my humble opinion, this is if you look at both sides on paper, somehow I start to feel now that SRH have a slightly more balanced side because their pace attack looks a little better to me, at least on paper. So I think it's an interesting matchup. Yes, for both teams, it's a big one because even for SRH, because they only have 4 matches left now. And if they lose 4 matches, I think around 4 matches left. If they lose one today, then it is going to be a little more problematic for them.
Exactly. I think one thing which is very sure at this moment is that if you look at this particular game, Punjab versus Sunrisers Hyderabad, this game gonna tell you that where this top four race is going. If as I said in the start, if Punjab wins this one, they'll have surely making it to top two. There's no doubt that they will. Means obviously there is 1% chance of each and everything, but I think they will close out on one or two, and then there will be a Sunrisers Hyderabad and a RCB running for that number two position. But Shubhanda, do you still think that it's the RCB fans will be equally eager as far as a Sunrisers Hyderabad fan or a Punjab Kings fan, and especially more importantly the Punjab Kings, because losing two out of two, one versus RR, one versus GT, and suddenly you came to know that their bowling is not doing well at this point of time. Least amount of wickets was taken by this team only, I think 40 wickets in all these, I think 10 games, and after that 10, sorry, 9 games, and then Delhi is just above them with 41 wickets. So if you see the least amount of wickets taken by any team, that is Punjab. And then suddenly the last two innings of Shreyas Iyer, suddenly the player who is playing with a strike rate of 180, 90, touching 200, he is also playing with a strike rate of 120, 110. Last innings was, I think, less than 100 strike rate. So suddenly there are problem coming up for Punjab Kings. Yes, there were silver linings of Shuryan Shedge. Yes, Marcus Stoinis did really well in the other game. But are you also watching this first, obviously, in the point of view of Punjab, that important game for Punjab, equally important for Sunrisers Hyderabad, because they will be playing this their 11th game, and then as a non-RCB match, it is the most important one for a RCB fan.
Of course, all the RCB fans would be tuning in and checking the scores wherever they are,
Yeah,
and they will be looking at the results as well very keenly. In regards to Punjab, yes, they you know I still feel they will easily qualify for the playoffs. But yes, their bowling concerns, which was there in the first half as well, which was being masked by their batting performances. It is no more there because the batters have also started to stumble a few times in the last few matches. If you look at a Priyan Sharya or a Prabsimran Singh, they depend a lot on these two guys to give
yeah,
that kind of start in the power play, followed by a Cooper Conley who was brilliant in the first half of the IPL, but in the last 3-4 matches he has not been able to score or have an impact with the bat. Shreyas Iyer again in the last couple of matches you have dropped Shashank Singh, maybe due to his poor fielding, but Suryan Shedge made a mark. So how will you bring in a Shashank Singh now into the playing 11 is also a question. But their bowling department, I think we have been talking about it in our Hindi lives as well, that Arshdeep has been wayward in the entire tournament. Yes, he has had a couple of performance here or there, but overall, what you expect from Arshdeep, he has failed to deliver in this season of IPL. UZCL started brilliantly, but the second half of the 9 matches they have played, UZCL has been on and off, a bit expensive as well. Xavier Bartlett, by before the time he was dropped from the playing 11, he was doing well. Then they suddenly decided to drop him, bring in a Lockie Ferguson, and since then, in the last couple of games, he has been expensive. Then you have a Marco Janssen who has been, I don't think he has been best utilized with the ball. To be really honest, he has a lot more to give with the ball in different phases of a match. But Marco Janssen has also failed to pick wickets. So their main concern is not the personal. They have the experience, they have the skill set, but what they are failing to do is execute out there. So I think, and it has to start from the leader of the pack. That is Arshdeep. So if Arshdeep can get things going with the new ball, then I think everything will fall in place. Now the concern is they are not able to pick power play wickets, and as soon as they start to pick power play wickets, things will start to fall in place. And against Sunrisers Hyderabad, you need power play wickets, otherwise you are in big trouble.
sure. Weber, when we were talking about this the SRH Punjab game, one another thing is very important as far as this particular game is concerned, that you have to look at the, the games these two teams have to play. I was looking at SRH games. They have to play, obviously today they are going to play against Punjab, then they have to play against GT, then they have to play against CSK, and then RCB. So all the teams here, with the graphics, you can see that all the teams they have to play, they are not, there is no easy game as far as this IPL is concerned. Like a CSK has to play two LSG games on current form basis. Two LSG game are a slightly easier game as compared to playing against a Gujarat Titans at this point of time, or a Punjab Kings, or maybe a Royal Challengers Bangalore, or for that matter a Chennai Super Kings. So for SRH, the next four games is the toughest. Means I have the list of all the teams having these upcoming 4 or 5 games in the top four, top five. And what I can say you that SRH are playing the toughest games in next 2 weeks to come. So do you think that will be there in the mind, that we cannot put a foot wrong? Otherwise, there are teams coming, and as I said, that CSK also have a schedule advantage. CSK have to play LSG twice, and then they have to play, I think, against SRH and a GT. So whatever is going on between SRH, PBKS, it will ultimately indirectly will benefit Chennai Super Kings. SRH, GT, it will indirectly. What CSK has to do is they have to win their games, and then everything will be taken care of by the other two teams, more specifically GT and SRH. Do you think the first thing on SRH, and the second thing is, do you think that CSK is having a schedule advantage here?
I think for SRH, the challenge starts from today. As you mentioned, the upcoming games are the toughest, and probably SRH are going to play the toughest last 4 games
Yes.
compared to
Yes.
other teams. But obviously, see, SRH, if you compare their team in the first half, they were struggling to find their combination. What has happened with Pat Cummins' return is they have found their playing 11. 1 or 2 changes they make according to the conditions. Either they play a Shivang Kumar or Harsh Dubey, or an extra pacer in Prafulinge. Apart from that, I think the change, moreover, the playing 11 is sorted. Last match, Smarand played because Nitish Kumar Reddy was not there, but Daniel Vittori has made it clear that Nitish Kumar Reddy is fit, and when he is fit, he automatically comes back. So Nitish Kumar Reddy being fit and available is a welcome news, is a good news for SRH and fans, I think. But overall, if you look at where SRH stands at this point, or yes, they have played 10 matches, but they have 12 points and they have 4 matches. From this position, you only have to win 2 matches. 16 points will get you through, but if you want to be safe, you want to get to the 18-point mark, and they are well placed to do that. If you look at the bowling, batting is clicking. We were talking about the only weak link being Travis Head form. Travis Head against Mumbai Indians showed that he is in great form. Heinrich Klaasen is doing his things at number 4. The way Nitish Kumar Reddy has come in as a finisher with Salil Arora has been remarkable. Ishan Malinga has led the bowling group. I think he's been the bowling leader of this group in SRH. So I think Ishan Malinga's form has been great. Saqib Hussain has done really well. Pat Cummins, since his return, is doing very well. So overall, this team looks fine. And from this position, doesn't matter whoever the opposition is, it will be very surprised if this team doesn't qualify, because they have got all their bases covered. As Bharat also mentioning that this team, on today's date, it looks better than Punjab Kings, because Punjab Kings obviously have lost 2 games, and their players have somewhat, their team is reminding me a bit of Delhi Capitals of last year. Delhi Capitals were at the top of the pile at the halfway mark, and then they had a major slip up. Kuldeep Yadav, KL Rahul, everybody lost their form, and then Delhi couldn't qualify. They finished at number 5. So obviously Punjab Kings is not in that position that they will not qualify, but they are in trouble. But as in regards to SRH, I think SRH will qualify because all the bases are covered, and this team is running high on confidence. And when you have match winners in form, then definitely they make most of their forms. Whether you talk about Abhishek, Travis Head, Heinrich Klaasen, you have plenty of match winners in there. And the best part is the Indian players have complemented them really well, whether the uncapped players or the capped players like Nitish Kumar Reddy. So SRH are looking really well. In regards to Chennai Super Kings, I think Chennai Super Kings have have found their mojo at the right time. I think they have also struck their balance. Now, since Sarfaraz Khan is not playing, Karthik Sharma batting at number 4, remaining unbeaten in 2 matches will give him a lot of confidence. It will transfer the
Yes.
confidence in the dressing room as well. And this same was Mike Hussey was also telling, this Karthik Sharma has talent. We only need to give him opportunity, as he needs to have full faith in his abilities. I think he has got that confidence. When you remain unbeaten in 2 consecutive matches, I think the confidence will be there. So I think CSK are also pretty sorted with their combinations right now. So now, as you said, LSG current form, you will back CSK to win those 2 games against LSG. Against SRH and GT, it will be tricky. Most tricky it will be. CSK's toughest game will be against SRH, because against GT it's all about the top order. You remove the top order and then you can easily get the game away from GT. So I think for CSK it's only about handling SRH. Even if they lose to SRH, they have to make sure that they are winning their other 3 games, 2 against LSG and 1 against GT. If they do that, I think CSK will be in a great position to qualify as well.
Just
I
adding
think
one line, just one line to SRH next 2 matches. One is, I think, against GT at the Narendra Modi Stadium. The important point to look at is at the Narendra Modi Stadium, every single game, the curator is leaving grass. I can see why he's leaving grass, because obviously GT's base attack would
yeah.
definitely come into the equation. There has to be some kind of, what can I say, collaboration between the curator and the GT camp here. So interesting to see how the SRH batting lineup will go at that particular ground with so much grass around. Because Punjab Kings tried to go for a breezy start. They lost 5 wickets. They were 5 for 47 on a grassy pitch. RCB tried to go for a breezy start, and they were something like 4 for 50 or 5 for 60. So from there on, it was very difficult to win that game. GT's plan is simple: put the opposition in with lots of grass around, and put them in a spot of bother and hope that their top order will get 100 runs while chasing about 160. So SRH adventurous top order. How will they go on that pitch? And also against, I think, CSK, because CSK in Chennai, I'm again seeing surfaces on the slower side, slightly on the slower side, not saying it's turning as much as it used to be, but it is on the slower side. So again, how SRH batting unit will go about their business in those conditions.
I think there is a learning for the Delhi Capitals curator also there. Means Hemang Badani coming into the press conference and saying that I don't know that we don't have any kind of control over pitches. Similar thing have happened last year with Kolkata Knight Riders. They don't even have a, what do you call, a means a kind of fight, a verbal fight, where Ajinkya Rahane was saying something, and then I think Sujan Mukherjee is saying another things. So I think they have to look at Gujarat Titans for this, that uh, how you can help the team, as far as that's why there is a home condition. There's no other way that you call home condition if they are not catering to what exactly the team is all about and what their advantages are. But coming to the other
Just,
part.
just want to just want to add one more point, that even Mo Bobert, RCB's director of cricket, mentioned this point earlier in the season, that RCB have no control over the pitch, and the curators, what BCCI curators are making, we have no control whatsoever. That's why even last year also, I think it was Devdutt Padikkal who
But
said
this
that.
time around it's
Uh,
different. This time around the RCB pitches are different.
It's
This is not
because
the
Yeah,
RCB.
it's different. That's what Padikkal mentioned, and that's what Mo also
yeah.
said, that we are struggling to get a hold of these conditions, because it is not something that is being prepared by asking us. Curator is not asking what kind of pitches that they are going to prepare. It's on them. We are not asking anything.
Bharat, you
You
want to
know
add
what has
anything?
changed? There's a lot of sun. There is a lot of sun. There is a lot of sun around in April. Lot of sunshine. So I
Yeah.
think the tracks got a little bit drier as the matches progressed. In the first match, it was very flat when SRH
Yes.
took on RCB. So you can't blame anyone. I think it is because of the radiant sunshine that we saw in April. Now it is actually raining in Bangalore every single day.
Yeah, that's nothing new about that. But coming to you, Bharat, is there any kind of changes are you looking forward to as far as these two teams are concerned, SRH or PBKS? Maybe you want to stick with the Suryan Shetye, but then you know that last time around when these two teams were playing each other, there was this wicket taking ability of Shashank Singh, whose confidence is really down at this point. But I think 106 is what SRH scored in the first 6 overs, and after that in the next 14, they will be there were, I think, only 114 runs in next 14 overs. Shashank Singh picked two important wickets there, and that changed the momentum completely. Nitish Kumar Reddy will definitely come in, but as far as a Shivang Kumar, a Harsh Dubey call, there's a lot of chopping and changing around Shivang and Harsh Dubey, looking at the conditions, looking at the the batting, the right-handers and the left-handers. I'm forgetting the name. What's the name of their opening bowler who dismissed Suryavanshi for a duck? Praful Hinge. Yeah,
Praful.
Praful. His participation after that very first game, it's not up to the mark. He's going for the runs. He's not able to pick up wicket. Shakib, on the other hand, is doing good as compared to Praful Hinge. So, do you think any kind of changes in Sunrisers Hyderabad squad?
Yeah, first of all, let us think about the other one, the Punjab Kings. Maybe
Okay.
they have to go in with informed player. Maybe Shagday they have to go in with him because he's a man in form. He scored runs in the last game. I think they have to stick with him. As far as SRH is concerned, is Praful Inge has gone for runs. I'm not very sure is the bowler that everyone made him out to be. See, he's still a very decent prospect. But if you look at Sakib and Praful, I'm thinking that Sakib is somewhat better in terms of raw attributes. I'm just looking at raw attributes. She's
Yeah.
deceptively fast. Obviously, one has talked about hyperextension, but it's also very deceptively fast and has a very, what can I say, deceptive off cutter that I don't think too many batters pick that cutter. So maybe they will look at Sakib going forward. Yes, Nitesh Reddy should return. Should return for this game. If he's fit, he will return for this game because he's continuously bowling a couple of overs, and that really acts as a bonus. He's bowling much quicker now, at least 5-6 kilometers per hour quicker, and he's adding some useful runs down the order as well. Those 15 and 20s. Smaran is most likely would play Test cricket at some point of time for the Indian team, but is a different kind of player at present. Is not the kind of player who comes in, hits the first ball for a six. He tried to do that in the last game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But that is not his style of play. Even in Sai Mushtaq Ali Trophy, it takes a little bit of time at number 3, number 4, and then goes after the bowling. So maybe they will look. Obviously, they will look at Nitesh Reddy. The other one is Harsh and Harshtup and Shivang. Harshtup and Shivang. I'm thinking of why not there is spinner because see, I look at this. I'm looking at this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I think I will pick Harshtup only because most likely I think he can go out to someone like Prabh Simran Singh because you can jam down his bat swing a lot because Prabh Simran is someone who likes to stay leg side of the ball, and I think the best way to jam down his bat swing is to have a left arm spinner who can bowl with more of a round arm action, which I think Harsh is pretty good at. So I would look at him, looking at the fact that PBKS have someone like Prabh Simran right at the top of the order, and even Shai Sire.
Okay. Shubhanda, there is one more, as far as the versus mode is concerned, there is this Travis Sheikh versus Prab Arya. Means you have to give it to them that for both the teams, and one data, I think I said it in the Hindi show also. There's a lot of claim around GT that they are top heavy side. Yes, a data which I was watching, I think a few days back, 79% of the runs scored by their top four, but SRH is also not behind. They have 76%. So GT is 79% and SRH is 76%. So we can call them also a top heavy side. Yes, Henry Klaasen's strike rate is a little bit of problem. At the earlier phase, it was a big problem. But now I think with Henry Klaasen is also giving runs with a good strike rate, it's not going to be bad for Sunrisers Hyderabad. He's also chipping in with runs. Abhishek Sharma, we all know. Travis said, I think just a game back, he had his kind of innings in the last game also. Ishan Kishan, we all know from the very first game versus RCB. But the versus mode is still about their both their openers, Punjab openers and the SRH openers. Do you think that game lies on these two pairs where one will decide that either it's going on the SRH side or maybe the Punjab side?
Without a doubt, I think the power play batters will decide where the game is going. If you look at both the middle order batters, I think it's very similar. With SRH welcoming back Nitish Kumar Reddy, who has also chipped in with runs. I think SRH also has a very good middle order. Punjab Kings have also a very good middle order, but how long their opening combination sticks around, I think that will depend. That will decide the course of the game. We all know, like if they play 6, 7, 8 overs, it will be 100 plus, 110 plus without a shadow of doubt. And that is where the new ball bowlers will have to be very clever with their variations with their deliveries. Someone like Arshdeep who has gone for runs. Abhishek knows Arshdeep for a long time, so they it will be a battle. Arshdeep versus Abhishek, to childhood. We can say friends being against each other, knowing each other. Prabsimran, for someone like Prabsimran, he can also give some tips to Arshdeep that they you can bowl this, you can bowl that. So it will be a good battle, and someone like a Pat Cummins who will go hard against Priyan Sharia and Prabsimran. So it's going to be a good battle. I won't be surprised if either of the team use spinners to start with and try something different and just not give pace to any of the openers straight away.
Okay. Weber, coming to you, for the last phase, I think the bowling will be the key. And as I mentioned in the early part of the video, that if you talk about the team who have taken least amount of wicket is Punjab Kings at that point of time, but they have played a game less also. So yes, 9 games to 10 games of Delhi, and Delhi have picked up only 41 wickets. Punjab have picked up 40 wickets. They might become second last, but it's still not a very good data to show with having someone like in the likes of Marco Jensen, Xavier Bartlett, Arshdeep Singh, UZ Chahal, Vijay Kumar Vyashak. There are a lot of bowling personnel they have in this particular league. On the other hand, as I asked Bharat also about the Praful Hinge thing, what do you think where the bowling ties lies? Because uh, yes, Sunrisers Hyderabad is at this point of time looking really good. But if you see on paper and if you compare, I don't think there is a comparison in today's T20 era with Arshdeep Singh there, Marco Jensen there. They're already looking like a good side as far as bowling is concerned. But Ehsan Malinga, haven't talked about much about him. He's the real star for this team. Return of Pat Cummins, Praful Inge, Shakib Hussain, Nitish Kumar Reddy, a Shivang or a Harsh Dubey. They have also good options. Even sometimes they use Abhishek Sharma also for a first over, or maybe someone who can bowl in power play or in the later phase of the game. Where bowling lies as far as the both teams are concerned, according to you?
I think SRH, Ishan Kishan in the first half used Nitish Kumar Reddy really well in the power play in the middle overs. I think
Yeah, yeah.
SRH best utilized Nitish Kumar Reddy, the bowler this season. And to their credit, I think Ishan Kishan, a lot of credit should be given to Ishan Kishan. Obviously, Varun Karan must have done the hard work behind the scenes as a bowling coach. But I think Ishan Kishan, the way he used his resources, because it was a depleted team. Pat Cummins was not there. They were struggling to find their ideal combination. A lot of uncapped players. Now, what Pat Cummins has is a very settled team. Now it's a toss up between a Praful Hinge and a Harshal Patel. If you talk about today's game, then obviously I would have Harshal Patel, only because see the variations that Harshal, I don't think a lot of bowlers has that dipping slower ball that Harshal bowls. Bumrah also bowls that, but we haven't seen that from him in this season. But Harshal, obviously he has struggled at the start of this season. He was dropped. Now he's again back. So I would still back Harshal Patel. Also, because what favors Harshal's selection is his record against somebody like Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer has been dismissed thrice in 18 or 19 balls, if I'm not wrong, against Harshal Patel. So obviously matchups are really important in this format of the game. So Harshal Patel will be my pick.
I think there is some network error as far as Webber is concerned. Yeah, means obviously the matchups are important. That's why I think we saw yesterday that why Jimmy Overton bowled just 1 over. There were other matchups also where UZ Chahal came into to bowl on the 14th over. Nitish Rana completing his quota, and Akshar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav only waiting to match for the matchup to get over. So yes, matchup holds a certain kind of gravity as far as these particular matches are concerned, and some captains are very much fascinated about it. Some are basically going on with their instincts. We will join you guys as far as the match is concerned. As I said in the very start of the video, that it's going to be one of the very big game to decide the race of the playoff, and from here onwards there are multiple games. We were discussing in our Hindi show last night that how there are 4 or 5 big games who can settle the debate that where this playoff race is going. And at certain amount of time, there will be these, bottom ranked team who can also decide. So, suppose playing a CSK is, if a CSK is playing a LSG, or a LSG is playing a RCB, then a LSG can also decide that where the future of one team can go. So it's going to be a really, really good 2 weeks from here onwards. And as we all know, the playoff dates are now there. We have done a video in our Hindi show also that 26th, 27, 29, and 31st, that's what it panned out to be. The qualifier 1, the eliminator, the qualifier 2, and the finale to be played in Ahmedabad. So yeah, looking forward to all of that. And we will join you soon as far as the preview session is concerned of Punjab versus Hyderabad, or rather Hyderabad versus Punjab game is concerned. Do join us then. Till then, thank you so much. Do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you, guys.